Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm Christo, sometimes referred to as Count Christo, and we're going to be playing some Aurora 4X. Without further ado, let's dive in. So we're in the process of building our first ever destroyer escorts, designed to repel nasty Dark Eldar raiders. And we're going to keep stabilizing jump gates and generally having a hell of a good time while I allow them to get built. We're also going to continue to try and rip just as much coronium as we can out of the prosperous crust of Io. Oxygen on Mercury has reached the required level. Marvelous. Look at that. Sweet, sweet, not breathable atmosphere, because we need to cool it down. Phrygium, I believe, is the name. Let's add 2 atmospheres of Phrygium. See how that goes. We'll keep an eye on it. Callisto is warming up. It's warming up. Slowly but steadily. It's warming up. And Europa, likewise, nicely warming. Breathable now on Europa. Very nice. That's what I like to see. Ganymede, still perfectly habitable. Nothing's gone awry there. Over on Alma, meanwhile, still just trying to take that chlorine out of the atmosphere. It's going to take, with the current terraforming capacity, it will take many, many years. We've got 6 million workers available, though, so that's good. Industry on Earth, just building some research facilities. Right, okay, I'm reacquainted with the situation. Let's crack on, although I should close the... Weirdly, having that window open, the production one, seems to really slow the game down quite a bit. You generally don't want to have anything open, any windows open that you don't need to. Which is unfortunate, because to me the most fun way to play this game is to have like one window here and then like a bunch of others arrayed around you. Kind of feels like you're in like a, you know, on the bridge with all your data, but oh well. Send total 4. Let me take a look. Where are there not jump bridges? We've done all the jump gates. Fine. You can just stay there then. Stay at home. Don't burn any fuel needlessly. New Rear Admiral, good. New Commodore, good. So it just takes time for some of them to get promoted. We are now seeing a steady filtering through of new people at higher positions, which is good. Because now the human navy and the general civilian commands both have people in charge of them. Pretty sweet. The general human navy, by the way, what should we put here? Probably tactical is accuracy, isn't it? Let's do engineering, just to try and use less stuff across the whole base, like the whole fleet. And then I think like production, honestly. And then mining for now, and then maybe when we're at war, you change up how we assign those. And then for the general civilian command, it's now logistics, terraforming, survey. Let's make that logistics, terraforming, mining. Okay. Oops. Not what I meant to do. There we go. Okay, so we finished the production of research. We've still got plenty of Macassium. Sure, give me more. Give me another 50. Can't stop, won't stop beefing up my research. There's a new Commodore. A new Lord Captain. Cool. Okay, Europa has changed from ice fields to tundra. Nice. And Skippy has its extra terraforming capacity. Yeah, it's going to take a while, but it's slowly warming up. Colony costs now looking not too bad, honestly. Good. Making some good headway. Macroscopy update. Survey yards have a new slipway. Good. I think 2 is okay for now, honestly, on that. I don't think we're going to find ourselves in urgent need of more scout ships. How goes the production? We're halfway there. Halfway to glory. With our extra 40,000 tons of military vessels. Very nice. We should start thinking about how we're going to support these destroyer escorts. And it's going to be challenging. First, I think I'll just support them on habited worlds, and we'll start with that. There's a maximum engine size upgrade. How about quite a lot of labs? What in here is for our production? Internal confinement fusion reactor. Let's give that some more labs. And the others can work on power plant boosts? No. What else is being done with not many labs? Fuel consumption. Cancel that. Start it up with a bigger bonus. Get me an arc module. Yeah, arc module will be good. So this is how you put populations around uninhabitable planets when they can still work. You can have 50,000 workers living on an arc module, which is what we're probably going to have to eventually design for our further away ships. We're going to have some kind of hubs for them to live in. I could design new engines now. How many engines do the cruisers use? Right now, just one. So it wouldn't make any difference, really. Unless we wanted to make the freighters just larger, but no, I think that's okay. Europa has reached the desired level of gases. So how you doing, Europa? So with 1 atmosphere, we've got 2.1. 2.11. I'm very curious to see when this reaches 1 atmosphere. Oh, it's already got 3. Oh, this is Titan. It's Ganymede. I'm very curious to see when Callisto reaches 1, what it gets. Anyway, Titan. Sorry, Europa. Still not hot enough. So go to 1.4. And let's see how that goes. Oh, I should have closed the tab. Oh well. I'll do it after a few more ticks. Yeah, it seems like double the length of the ticks if you have that window open. Well, maybe not double, but like a significant increase. Freight 1 has completed its orders. Okay. Which I think means that Alma now has a significant number of additional terraformers. Yep. Good. Yeah, that is increasing. We are taking this out, right? 0.87. Yeah. Good. How many people can support anyway? 4 billion. Pretty good. Do I want to send more terraforming? I mean, how many more terraforming installations do I have? Oh no, that's actually all of them used up now. Okay. Because we put a lot on Ganymede. No? Right, we spread them out onto Europa and stuff, didn't we? I remember. Europa now has tons of available workers. Whereas Callisto definitely doesn't. Because the colony cost on Europa is already plummeting down. Whereas on Callisto it's still mighty cold. Okay, well, we have some available workers here. I guess, okay, let's do this. So we want Alma to be able to support two destroyer escorts, let's say. That's 20,000 tons of military capacity. One maintenance facility can support 1,000 tons and takes 50,000 workers, looks like. So we need 20 maintenance facilities over there. So freight, refuel at Earth, load 20 maintenance facilities, and then load as many infrastructure as you can on top of that, and take it on over to Alma and unload all installations. And then come home. Good. So that will give it maintenance capacity for 20,000. Now, bear in mind, it will start using stuff. But right now, we have a pretty good surplus of stuff here. But, can I not select on map from the screen? Looks like no. One thing we should bear in mind, where is the stuff being produced? Yeah. So most of the stuff being produced in this system is around Beta Telescopy 6. That's unfortunate. Because it means that having a destroyer base in the center of the system, it's 1.6 billion kilometers away, which means it's going to be, that's a very slow response time if they come and steal my automated mines. So, what we need is another base around Beta Telescopy. And we need some passive sensors there. So, load up some deep space tracking stations and take them out. Unload them there. Good. So we'll put some deep space tracking stations here. And then we also we want to inhabit one of these planets. One of these moons, rather. And the reason we want to do that is because your deployment time doesn't increase when you're in orbit around a sufficiently large inhabited body. And by large, I mean large population on the body. So we're dealing with Beta Telescopy 4 here. Sorry, 6. The others, I think... Yeah, the others, I think, are all close enough in. Well, are they? Beta Telescopy 5 is 300. We should put some on Beta Telescopy... No, Beta Telescopy 5 is a freaking... Beta Telescopy 5 is a gas giant. So we're going to load up some deep space tracking stations and put it on Beta Telescopy 5 moon, the biggest moon. Which of these do I want to inhabit? It is this one. Yeah, moon 20. We're going to unload some deep space tracking stations there. This is cool. This is a stage of the game I've never done before. I've never dealt with the raiders. The idea of having to like pick where we have listening stations and military outposts in the system. Fun. So we're going to put some deep space tracking stations there, and we're also going to try and inhabit this planet. Now that's going to be a problem, because it is cold out there. But its diameter is not massive. Not staggering, anyway. So we should be able to terraform it. For now, I think we'll just have listening stations there. Like, how fast can my destroyer escorts get? I think we'll need to base on here, but how fast can my destroyer escorts get from Beta Telescopy 2 to Beta Telescopy 5? It's 360 million. Divided by 8,712. So that's going to take 41,000 seconds, which is 600 minutes, which is 11 hours. Now, in 11 hours... Actually, I want it in the full. I want it in per seconds. Divided by 712. So they've got, basically, from when we detect the enemy to when my destroyer arrives on planet, we have a gap of 41,000 seconds. That means that the enemy gets 41,000 seconds to move. Let's say they're moving at the same speed as they were last time. That means we have to detect them 200 million miles away, in order for us to have our destroyer arrive in time to intercept the enemy. Does that make sense? Let me draw, just so I'm sure we are all on the same page here. So we have destroyers based here. Right, the destroyer escorts. And we know the distance between here and here. Right, this is 360. So the question is, how fast can we move 360? And we can do it in 41,000 seconds. So then how large does the sensor range have to be here, such that we detect the enemy coming in at, second 0, and yet we arrive here faster than they can arrive here? And I think the answer is we need this measurement here to be 200 million kilometers, which is a long way. So we're going to have to put, bearing in mind this measurement right now here is 367, but actually it's probably more like this, because their signature is bigger than 100 thermal. It might be more like this. So I think we need like 2/3 the number of deep range sensors we currently have on Alma. Alma right now has 50. So let's put 30 on Beta Telescopy Moon 20. This one here. Yeah, that should work. And then the other thing we need to do is we're putting some deep space tracking stations on Moon 2 here. Is that where it makes sense for them to be? Probably not. Like, what's the diameter here? Environment. We're looking at that's a much larger body. So in the short term, let's terraform Moon 12 first. So that we can, because we can terraform that really fast. And then we can get a population living on Moon 12 with the maintenance stations. And then Moon 12 can cover Moon 2, which is where the money is. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Okay, good. Good. This is a good game, man. I'm not saying, I don't mean like my Let's Play of it is really good, though. You know, you're like 20 episodes in, so I hope you think so. But I'm really enjoying this game. This having to think it through and playing it on stream. I always thought, don't play this game on stream. It takes way too long. Or not on stream, like on camera, because I'm not streaming at the moment. But it's actually almost more fun. I've researched the magnetic fusion continuum, but I can't research the next level. Ah, because it's right. Yeah, it's not next. But actually having to talk through why I'm doing things makes me think about it in a different way. Which is why, you know, if you've never recorded yourself playing a game, you should consider it. Because a lot of the fun of playing games comes from, like, the thoughts. What a stupid sentence. A lot of the fun from playing games comes from thinking stuff through and the thought process involved in working out what you want to do. And this kind of game, especially, where you find yourself coming up with rationale and logic for all kinds of things, it's really satisfying. I'm worried about the Brondide, so I'm not going to make another wave of those. It's really satisfying to be forced to kind of enunciate your reasoning. It's the reason that a lot of people do after action reports, I think, for Paradox games. It makes you think through why you're doing things and the story behind what you're doing, like picking where to put the listening stations. You know, it could be quite a boring activity. Which moon was going to cover? 12, right? Yeah. It makes you think these things through in a very different way, which is really good fun. Give me a terraforming governor and add some oxygen. Okay, so we've got a better engine, so we should probably redesign all our ships. Here's my ship's destroying window. So the coiler. The coiler's not that urgent. The cruiser copy. What is this cruiser copy? Ah, this is the one I was just testing on, wasn't it? Delete that. So the Azazel. Do we want it to go even faster? I think we're going to try and just keep it simple on this upgrade. I'm going to design an engine which achieves the same size as the previous engine. So what kind of engine are you using? 130% at 5,200 engine power. Yeah, so we're just going to keep it simple. This is going to be a that's got to be modified. I know that. That's fine. Which one is it? This one. So it's going to use less fuel. Hang on, it's using more fuel. What? 140 size. Size 1,200 tons. Ah, right. Yes, because if I make an engine of the same size on the higher tech level, that actually means... Sorry, same speed on the high tech level, that's actually a smaller size. Yeah, so we're going to go with the same size, which means a increase in... How does that mean an increase in fuel use per hour? That's confusing to me. No, okay, it's the same fuel consumption per engine power. It's just that it's a higher engine power. Yeah. So we're gonna design this engine, which is a 130%, which is just to make it easy to swap in, basically. Let's just prototype that, and then the Azazel runs the same one, doesn't it? And the Acasta doesn't. The Acasta runs a 165. 4,950 ton engine. So our ships will get a bit faster with this upgrade, quite a bit faster. This is a 165% engine. Prototype that, and the Destroyer Escort likewise is going to get an upgrade. We were at... What percent is this? Oh, I didn't save that. Damn it. That was foolish of me. Give me a right size one, and then I can just work it out. Well, no, I suppose I can't, because we're not going to match the engine power. How much engine power were we getting out of this before? 1,400. So, and the fuel use per hour... per engine power is 69, so we're probably looking at this. So we're going to be able to go even faster with these, which is good because that means we can respond more rapidly to threats further away with the same sized engine. Prototype that. Got to remember to put the engine power percent in the names. It makes it much easier to do these upgrades. And then the commercial engines, dropping them down to 50%. I'd like the 50 and the 40. We could go with a stonking great engine, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go with a similar size, which I think is just max size from the previous era. There it is. Yep, that's the 100. Sorry, that's the 50% engine. And I would also like the 40% version, though I don't think we're using it at the moment, but just have it prototyped. Okay, and then the fuel harvester is rocking the 40% version. No, this is a much smaller 40% engine. This is a 100 size engine, which is there. Again, going to have just a bit more power, a bit more oomph behind it. This is a 400, 100. I should have named the other ones like 400 T50s, but no matter. The Corgi Scout is running the smaller 40%. You're running two of the smaller 40%. You're running a 40%. You're running a 50%. You're running a 50%. You're running the 40s. You're running the 40s. Okay. And then the other thing we could do is we could design a incredibly fuel efficient drive for long range stuff. So let's say we wanted the Terraformer to have this engine instead of these three. It would be a bit larger because the ones they're using are 5,000 tons each. So it would be 5,000 tons larger, but it would use dramatically less fuel. I feel like we're not losing much fuel though running these Terraformers because they don't move that much. So I'm not convinced it's necessary. Really? So, there are our prototypes. Time now to make the shifts. You lose the 50%. You gain the 50%. Good, so we're going to be gaining, quite a bit of speed on this upgrade. Azazel loses the 1 on 30. Sorry, gotta copy it. Loses the 130. Gains this. Up to 10,000 speed now. Pretty nice. Copy that. Take out the 130. Put in the 130. Destroyer. Why are we running the Destroyer slower than the Azazel? Am I... Oh, I haven't upgraded the engine yet. It had the 165, didn't it? But not that one. This one. There we go. Yeah, okay, we are running them at almost exactly the same speed. Good. And the Ada, copy class, take out the old one. Which one did it have? Right, it's the lower one. Wait, did I not? Ah, no, it's this one, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, 7,000 to 8,800. Pretty nice. Maintenance life is down a little bit. Range is identical. It just takes it less long to do it. Yeah, that's fine. Freighter. Don't worry, we are going to rename these. Loses the commercial 2,000, gains the commercial 2,500. Freighter, same deal. So they're going quite a bit faster now. Very nice. The fuel harvester, same deal. Was it on 40%, I imagine? Yeah, the small 40% too. The scout, using the 40, 100. Stabilization. It takes. This is why I like playing on longer research time, by the way, because this clearly, like, just upgrading everything, not a hugely engaging element of the game. So only having to do this once every so often, rather than like all the time, is more fun, in my opinion. There's the tanker going pretty darn fast now. And yeah, these are all more fuel efficient than their predecessors, so which is good. Just across the board, using less fuel has obvious advantages. Upgrade the armor. Where's the upgrade armor button? There it is. Sorry, I've been staring at the staring at this for rather a long time. 4100. Put on the 4100. Okay. So here's all the cruisers, and we should do the same with these. The 130. And copy you. The 40, 100. Good. Okay, so now we need to do some renaming. So the Agincourt, which is obviously named after battles, is instead going to be called something I've heard of, ideally. Bosworth Field, perfect. Bunker Hill. I was reading through all these historical names, and then Bunker Hill really confused me. Alright, the Azazel, and obviously the old one is now obsolete. The Azazel is going to be renamed. I think we're naming them after Azazel. Presumably that's an angel's name. Angels and Demons. Is it not? It's not in the list. But sure, let's name our cruisers after angels and demons. Baal, progenitor of Satan in the Old Testament. And then the Azazel flag, you're obsolete. It's just going to be the Baal flag. Okay, the Acasta, you're named after destroyers, obviously. Is it British destroyers or just D for destroyers? Demons, defensive worlds, destroyers. Class theme destroyers. Class theme British destroyers. You know what I can do? Here we go. World of Warships, Acasta. What does it upgrade into? The Acasta is a tier 5 British destroyer. What's the tier 6 one called? Commander skills. Okay, hang on. World of Warships, tier 6 British Destroyer. Ships of the UK. Warship gaming. Gameplay. Battleships. Destroyers. Okay. The Icarus. Not the battle flag. The ship. This is the Icarus. Cool. The old one is obsolete. The Anti-Dark Eldar, I will just... we haven't actually flown any of them yet, so I'm just going to call it MK2. Exodus. These are named after books of the Bible. Hey, my Muki did work. Good. Books of the Bible. We had Exodus. Time for Genesis. But this is Genesis. Colony. And this is, rename, Genesis. Which is not spelled like that. Genesis. Genesis. Freight. Good. The Albatross. Named after birds, clearly. We will get the buzzard, the blackbird, the blue jay, or the bat. Let's go with blue jay. Do love a blue jay. The corgi. Dogs. Breed of dog. The corgi. What's a more scouty name? Dalmatians are pretty fast. Deerhound, no. Deerhounds hunt for things. Obsolete. Did I not upgrade it? I did. So why is it not? Ah, it is now. Civilization chip. Aztec gods. We're on to D. No D's. On to E. Ehactal. Good name. Oxford. Oops. Have we had a Cambridge class yet? Survey vessels. We had a Cambridge. We've had an Aachen, Berlin, Cambridge, Oxford. You know what? I've just moved there. Well, just like almost 6 months ago now. We're going to have a Sheffield class vessel. Bosphorus. It's going to be B for bodies of water. No. Maybe class name. Bodies of water. No. Lakes. I could just choose another sea. What's a sea I know that begins with B? The Bosphorus. No, wait, this is a terraformer. What is this word? Is Arcadian Prince, one of the 60 sons of King Lycion, by the Naiad Selene. Who the hell are you? He's a Greek mythological dude. Oh, is it the translation of like the word? He's the Greek god of the storms of the Aegean. What a sick thing to be a god of. Greek god beginning with B. Boreas. Oh, perfect. The god of the north wind. Yeah, I should have thought of him. Boreas. I mean, he's trying to cool and heat planets. He's god of the wind, cold wind. Perfect. Troop transports. Cadiz. What was Cadiz? I don't know where Cadiz is, but... What were the other ones called? Agincourt and Bosworth Field. Aren't these just battles? Am I double dipping on battles for coilers? Coilers shouldn't be named after... Well, no, coiler makes more sense than troop transport. Well... Yeah, we have 2 Battlefields. Not quite sure what happened there. Troop transports, you need a new naming system. You can be named after troop transports. How about Greek? Some Greek stuff. You will be the first Apollo class troop transport. Cadiz, you are obsolete. Okay. Okay. You are obsolete. You are obsolete. You need renaming. And also, I think I'm going to rejig how I do these. This is not the Azazel and flag one. This is the cruiser to flag cruiser. This is the scout to survey vessel. Nice. Okay, now we need to actually research all those new components, but we haven't got any spare labs, so I'll just wait. Will I? No, let's cancel this and storm through some of them with them. I never hit research prototype. Silly goose. These new prototypes, please. Research prototype. Research prototype. We didn't use this one, did we? Oh no, we did. That's that one. Okay. Research prototype. Research prototype. This one. Research prototype. And research prototype. Good. How much are they going to set me back? This one's pretty expensive. We'll do the most expensive ones first. And just set up a bunch of others going simultaneously. Just cancel any and all power and propulsion research for a minute while we hard pivot to this for a second. Okay, any more for any more? Fusion drive, 50% fusion drive. Looks good to me. Okay. Those new Aegeans I've already assigned away, I think. Yes. 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 Good. That took a while. You know what I should do? I should save. I should definitely save. After having done all that redesigning, it would be very annoying to have it all fall apart now. And by fall apart, I mean, you know, crash or whatever. Should be good. Okay. Progressing nicely. I think we're in a good spot. Moving towards those first destroyers launching. Terraforming 2 has reached Beta Telescopy Moon 12. Where the addition of oxygen to the atmosphere should now begin. Let's just check. Yes, indeed. Good. Verendite has been exhausted on Temper Tuttle. And the civilian mining has been taken down accordingly. Fair enough. And the freight ships are just finishing unloading everything. In fact, stop a second. We built the first anti-thingamajob things. Nice. Research rate 500 has also been researched. Anti-thingamajob things, that's right. Earth's population is still declining. Why is that? It's meant to be stable. Maybe there are still queued up orders to take people from it somewhere else. And Luna's population is kind of collapsing. What are we up to now? 3% growth. Make that stable. Just take people from Mars for a bit. Not Io. But actually Ganymede as well. Ganymede has pretty high pop growth though. Okay. Yeah, Freight 1. Let's take a look here. So, yeah, this is going to start getting quite busy. Let's just keep the 100s on. We put them on Beta Telescopy Moon 2. That's not actually where I want them. Load up those 43 deep space trackings and take them to Moon 12. And then go home. So we can see 328 million there. 328 million here. So that's sufficient. These are sufficient ranges that our destroyers can respond in time if we have some base both here and here. Assuming that they don't exit the webway closer to our planet than that. And there's no way I can deal with that except having guns on every colony, because they could exit the web right next to it for all I know. I assume they exit at kind of roughly jump point range from the center of the colony, which means they could arrive right next to this one. But we're going to have a ship base there, so okay. I think that should work. Now, we've built those new things and we've got the research done. So, by the way, look at this. Only half the population, or slightly more than half the population, of Sol now lives on Earth. Pretty cool, huh? So we've completed research rate increase. Get me a 40% guy on something else useful, like maintenance. No, shipyard cost savings, sure. And then the 5 remaining. Any more power and propulsion things to do? Yep. Get on it. It's going to take a while to do still. Where do you go? There he is. Assign new. Good. That'll speed up everything else we've got coming out. And yes, we now do have these ships. Here they are. They're adders. We didn't go with a flag ship on these, which is fine, I think. But yeah, I'm just going to leave them in dock for now, because they're going to get overhauled, obviously, to the new design once the engines are done. Should I get another 4 built in the meantime, knowing that the overhaul will cost? Yeah. I want to get them built as soon as possible. So let's get the second 4 under construction as soon as possible. Good. Electromagnetic sensor sensitivity is upgraded. Keep on keeping on with that one. And sit up. It's good to have the face count to remind you. Everyone watching this, if you're slumped in your chair, don't. Your older self will thank you. I wonder if thermal sensor sensitivity helps on... Well, I haven't played with thermal sensors yet. Maybe I should be building... Yeah, I should think about that. Maybe we should be building a thermal sensor. What was I using? Like the 5% one? Yuck. Give me... I mean, 10%. Yeah, I guess I'm going to still keep it with the 10% one. And then there's that one that had 5. Yeah, add more on here. Keep sorting this by date. The arc module. Sure. What was I thinking? Yeah, how good are thermal sensors? Like, we know their thermal output is like 186 or so at the moment. So if I designed a thermal sensor at lowest level, how big does it have to be? So at this level of sensitivity, which is obviously pretty low, we could detect them at about 50 million. Can't I shift click to open a new research project window simultaneously? You can do that with this, right? Yeah, I can do that there. I guess I can't do that for this. Anyway, so we're looking at about, well, let's just say against 100, we're looking at 40,000 out of a 2,500 ton object. Whereas if I was active censoring with the worst possible tech, with the same sized sensor, we're able to see them at a greater range. So there's not really any point using thermal sensors on ships to detect them, given that the active sensors can detect them just as easily. Now, the downside of active sensors is that active sensors themselves can be detected, which obviously can present a problem. But yeah, I think we're not going to worry about thermal sensors for now. I guess the other good thing about thermal sensors is you can probably put them on planets. That you could build a like a space station with thermal sensors or something, and you could have them be massive. But I can't make them larger than that anyway. So, and I don't think you can stack thermal sensors. Like 2 thermal sensors with the same sensitivity can't detect stuff further away than 1. So, anywho, on we go. We could be upgrading our active sensors. And in fact, why aren't we? Well, how long until the next active sensor? The next what is it called? Electromagnetic sensor sensitivity. Sensor sensitivity is hard to say. Sounds like the name of a Jane Austen novel. How long is it going to take? 2 years? Okay, maybe when we get this one, we'll upgrade them. Well, we're going to refit them in that time anyway. Well, are we? Because it's going to take us ages to get some of these engines done. Yeah, okay, we'll refit them with the next tier up of sensors. Wait a minute. I messed up. What happened to my passive sensors? What happened to my passive sensors around Beta Telescopy 5? Ah, Moon 12 here is around Beta Telescopy 5, not 6. Damn it. Okay, go back. Go to Moon 12. Load up the deep space tracking stations. And we need something around Moon 6. Whoops-a-daisy. Something small, ideally. But not low gravity small. There aren't many good options. It's these 4, basically. Darn. Well, some of them are smaller than others. Let's take a look here. Remember, we're looking at only Moon 6 contenders. Oh, this one, terraforming rate versus Earth, is insane. Yeah, this one's not that big at all. Okay, we can use this one. Ah, no, that's low gravity. Is this one? 5 times terraforming rate versus Earth is not bad. What about the other ones? 1 time, 5 times again. Oh, that's my door. I'll be back. Right, back. What was I doing? Yes, so I think we should colonize probably Moon 13. Yeah, Moon 13 looks good. It's got a decent, very decent, actually, now I look again, population capacity. So, looks good to me. Terraforming 2. Stop orbiting Moon 12. Move to Moon 13. It's going to take 20 days. And freight. Drop off those deep space tracking stations on Moon 13. There's no strictly necessary reason that the population of the deep space tracking stations have to be on the same planet. I'd just rather have them in the same place, basically for ease of management and also ease of defense. I'm not hoping that the enemy actually reaches our planets. We're aiming to defeat them in the void. But, obviously, you don't always get what you want. So, let's send them here. And then this is the one that I want the governor for. Terraforming. And this one needs no governor. You can have mining. Actually, no, you should still have a governor. It just shouldn't be a terraforming governor. Good. So Moon 13 is where we're going to terraform, and we're going to add, first off, a bunch of oxygen into the atmosphere. Good. And Moon 12, you can just... Well, I might as well leave that set. It's not going to terraform anymore, but we'll probably terraform it in the fullness of time anyway. There goes the terraforming fleet sailing out towards the actual correct planet, and shortly you'll see the freighter dudes come back through. Here's the freight fleet. Terraforming 2 is now in orbit. Oxygen addition can commence. And there we go. It's picked up some of those down here. We no longer have the 4 things there. The fusion drive research has completed, which is the one that's going to be last to be done. This one. Cancel that. And kick it off again with dramatically more labs. Good. Good. And the colony fleet is still coming back and forth. There is our stuff back up. Good. And yes, I think that is sufficient range on these deep space systems. Let's have the the freight fleet venture home now. And then we'll consider their new task once they're there. I seem to be seeing the... Oh, this is the fuel shuttle, isn't it? Yeah. Freight 1 has completed its orders. Good, the population of Earth is rising again. Okay, Alma, how are you doing on pop support? No, you can still take more. And that chlorine. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there, removing that chlorine. What's the last thing I want to try and achieve this episode? What have we got industry-wise on Earth right now? We're just cranking out research. We've got a lot more corundium again. Give me another 300 mines. Pause the tech. Give me those mines. The freight can just stand by for a minute. That's okay. Okay, we've got one of the other. The commercial containment drive is done. Good. That was one of the less good researchers. We'll just put them back in. Mercury has gone from barren to desert. Excellent. Doesn't sound like a huge change to me. Nice. The ice sheet has melted. Look at that. We just gained 26 degrees on Skippy. Bang. Suddenly habitable. We still need to add a tiny bit more in order to get the minimum temperature up by a little bit, but then suddenly this planet is habitable. Oh, hell yes. Look at that albedo increase. That is insane. That is absolutely mental. It was right on the cusp between the two of them, clearly. What is it going? 10. One more tick, I think. Let's check. Oh, baby. 0.0 and staying such. We should actually remove water vapor from the atmosphere for a bit here, because the hydrographic extent is slightly higher than 75, which is what we want it to be. Removing water vapor will cool it down, though. Water vapor is a very potent greenhouse gas. But look at that. Very nice. So we can now start settling this. Because it can support any number of people. And it can start holding those 8 billion. So the colonial fleet... Remove your orders. Where are we going to take people from out there? Maybe Ganymede? Europa? Europa looks good, because you're not mining on Europa, are you? Let's start taking some of the people off Europa. And shipping them over. Not to Beta Telescopy, sorry. To... Lacti... Lacali? To Lacus. Lacus is the place they want to go. Unload those colonists. Come back to Sol. Cycle those moves. It's going to take 50 days to go back and forth. But we're going to start getting a population out here. And then we can start mining and everything. And our third system will be established. We'll need to think about getting a bunch of defense and maintenance and things in that system as well. Nice! That's a good milestone to hit right here near the end of the episode. Keep going on the next level up. Reactor tech. And the fuel thing, rather. Good. Okay. Very nice. So, which ships are no longer prototypes? All of them? Everything but the destroyer. Okay. So, cruiser yards. Time for you to retool to the cruiser and flag cruiser. Destroyer escorts. It's time for you to retool to the Mark II. And survey yards. It's time for you to retool to the survey and scout. Earth movie yards. You are TR. You are Stabilize. You are Genesis. You are Bosworth Field. You are Fuel Harvesters. You are Tankers. And you are TTs. Nice. Retool away. And that's going to use a bunch of stuff for some shipyard tasks, but not very much really at all. Shouldn't take too long. Yes, the engine is a very large component, but it's not a massively expensive one. So shouldn't take too long to get that rejigged. Excellent. And then we're just waiting on the destroyer. And we should be good to go. And very soon, Shipyard will be inhabited. Yes, the hydrophobic extent, 76.41, should start to decline. 76.41, 76.35. Good. And the temperature doesn't seem to be rising much, so... Retooling for the Blue Jay class is done on the fuel harvesters, and the survey one is already done as well. So, let's get some auto refits from the Corgi to the Deerhound. I only have 2 Corgis. From the Oxford to the Sheffield. Can't be done. Because there's only 2 slipways, of course. And we're not going to bother, obviously, bringing all our fuel harvesters back just so that we can retool them. If we ever like want to send them 6 or 7 systems away, maybe we'll bother with that. But otherwise, it's not a big deal. Gate Manufactorium. Auto refit from the new to the old. Sorry, from the old to the new. And the Terraformer one, likewise, we're not going to redo it on the Terraformer one. We just don't need to. Nice. Yeah, not taking long at all to retool these ships to each other's classes. Very nice. The Genesis Colonial class refit, however, we will do. Which will take a minute here. But that's okay. And the freight one can be the first ones that get it done. So auto refit from Exodus Freight to Genesis Freight with all 7. And that'll take a while, but it'll speed up our fleet and it'll make it use much less fuel. And the troop transports, auto refitting from the Cadiz to the Apollo. Yes, please. And then I'm going to save and I'm going to end the episode. I'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed this one, going up to the next tech level on engines. Very exciting. In the next episode, we will finish this retooling for the new Mark II destroyer escorts. We will figure out how we're going to defend Lacus and whether we're going to attempt to defend the space between Lacus and Sol. Because remember, Lacus is here. So we might need to also have some kind of defensive system set up in Hydri, or we might have to have any ships going between Sol and Lacus be more thoroughly escorted. But all of that and more in the next episode. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.